Hello, my name is Miracle Lawrence. In this video, I will demonstrate my contributions to the Movie Rental Tracker API project and show that the application meets the requirements for deployment, good operations, validation, OAuth authentication, and testing. First, I will demonstrate the deployed application. As you can see on the screen, I have deployed the API to render, and the application is accessible through this public URL you see here. As shown, the API is running online and is not hosted on a local host. Next, I will open the Swagger UI documentation. Swagger provides interactive documentation for all API endpoints. For this project, I implemented the final two collections, the movie reviews and the available movies. I will first demonstrate the movie reviews collection. Now, in the first part, I demonstrated the users collection, the rented movies collection, and the movie information. I added I added the movie reviews and available movies collection. So let's start with the reviews collection. Let's test all routes in the reviews collection, starting with the get route. Of course, the get route is a public route. Anyone can get access to it without having to log in. So when we execute that, it returns a status code of 200 with an empty list, meaning it is successful and there is no data currently in the database. So let's create one using the posts route. Try it out. I have a sample data here that I can use. So when we execute that, it returns an error code of 401 with a message saying unauthorized, please log into GitHub. So because of the authentication middleware attached to this route, a user would have to be logged in first before they can get access to this route or perform operations like this. So I'm going to go ahead and log in real quick. Oath GitHub. So log in through GitHub. And when I run that URL, I should be able to log in successfully. Yes, so yeah, of course, we're logged in, so we can try it again. Let's see, try that out. We have, of course, our sample data, execute, and that works successfully. It returns a status code of 201, meaning that the review has been created successfully. So let's get back and check the get route to see if our data was created successfully. Yes, it was. There you have it. So I'm going to copy this ID because I will need it to test other routes like the get by ID routes. So when I paste that ID here and then execute, it should return that particular data that we just created now. So let's see if we can modify the data using the put route. When I try that out, paste the ID in here. Let's see. I want to change the rating to a 5-star rating and then execute. You should see that it works fine. The rating has been changed to 5. I want to test the validation on a field here. So suppose I try it out and instead of 7, I use the word 7. And then we execute. We should see an error, failed to create available movie. And of course, it is because of the data type. It has to be a number and not a string. So let's get that right to 7 and then execute. And that should work fine. It creates an available movie successfully. So it works fine. So I'm just going to copy this ID because I will need it to uh, get by ID or get available movie by ID. So if I try it out, execute, it should return just fine. Okay, so now let's test puts. Let's see if we can make some adjustments to our created movie. Suppose I want to change reserved copies to 10 and execute. That works fine. Now let's also test maybe validation on one of the fields. Let's say instead of 10, I use words and I execute. I say You see that it returns an error. It means that it has to be a number and not a string. So you can change that back to 10 and then hit execute. That should work just fine. Lastly, I'm going to test the delete root. You just paste that ID here and then execute. Available movie has been deleted successfully. Finally, I will demonstrate testing. Now, I created a folder here for testing. Um, I created test for all get and get by ID roots. If you check here using jest, I'm going to go ahead and run that test now by running npm test. So, as shown, all tests passed successfully. The results show one test suit passed and 10 tests passed. So this confirms that all get, as you can see here, all get and get by ID roots function correctly. This concludes my demonstration. Thank you for your time.